Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is the Insta360 X3 and it's the most amazing camera you'll ever see. If you don't believe me, watch this. Let's take a look at the physical features of the X3. This is the forward section and we see it has a 1/2-inch sensor on both cameras, one in the front, one in the rear, both with an f1.9 aperture. This allows you to take 8K photos and 5.7K video. This is the rear of the X3. You'll see it has another camera pointing to the rear. It also has a microphone in the rear and an indicator light. Checking out one of the sides of the camera, you'll find another microphone and a speaker. You'll also have your power button and a quick menu button. Moving on to the other side of the X3, you'll find another microphone. That's your fourth microphone, a USB port, a micro SD card slot, and the battery. The USB-C port is used for charging the camera as well as accessing data off the micro SD card. The included battery will give you approximately 81 minutes of runtime. When the battery is removed, you can see the spot for the micro SD card. And finally, on the bottom of the X3 is a tripod mount. One unique feature of the X3 is that when you take photos or video, you can use either two cameras or one camera. For this first demonstration, we're going to pick two cameras and we're going to set the resolution at 5.7K. That's the combination of both cameras, and we're going to shoot at 30 frames per second. For many of the camera demonstrations, I'll be riding my fat bike, and I do have the Insta360 motorcycle mount kit, which allows me to attach the X3 to my fat bike as well as my helmet and other things. One of the very amazing things with a 360 camera is if you attach it to your handlebars, you will not see the mount or the camera when you're looking at your handlebars here with the 360 camera. When I place the camera on my bike, I just had it face one direction. However, when it records every single direction known to the human mind. Therefore, in post-production, I can pick any of those directions I want. Now, since the camera records front, back, left, right, up, down, you can do weird things like this just to spice up your videos so that it doesn't look as boring as other videos you see on YouTube. And if you go off-road biking, mountain biking, you can make your images a little bit more exciting just by changing up the camera angles. Now keep in mind, this camera is attached to my handlebars, so it is bouncing up and down quite violently. However, check out the image. It's not that bad. The stability works really well. I have found that the camera requires plenty of light to ensure perfect stability, so if you're driving at night, it may not be as stable as if you are driving in the daytime. Now here's something you'll see all the time with a 360 camera, and it's very simple. All it is I've taken the image, it's 360 degrees, and I'm trying to squish it into a 180-degree plane, so I start to get some pretty weird things happening on screen. It's not hard to do. If you own this camera, you could do this in like 2 seconds. Or you can amaze your friends with the tiny planet look. But that's not the main reason you'd buy a camera like this. When you have a 360-degree camera, you can just face it in one direction, and then if something happens during your journey, you can go back and show it in post-editing. For example, here a helicopter was flying overhead, and I can show that there was a helicopter flying overhead. Now on the X3, you use both cameras when both cameras are unobstructed. However, it does have the ability to only use one camera. In this example, I'm selecting a very wide field of view because I'm going to place the camera directly on my chest. I'm going to ride a bike, but the camera is going to be on my chest this time instead of the handlebars, just to see the results we get. For this demonstration, I'm going to use a chest mount. I'm going to attach the Insta360 X3 to the chest mount. That means only one camera can be used because the other one's facing my chest. So I want the camera to face forward as I ride my fat bike. Now, since I selected such a wide field of view to record this video, that meant that in post-editing, I could pick either looking down or looking straight forward because the field of view is so wide. Now, as I go through the bike trails, I'm going to switch between looking down and looking straight forward. But what you should take away from this is the stability. Once again, this is the awesome stability of the X3. This is on my chest, the bike is bouncing everywhere, look at my handlebars, but yet everything is super stable in the image, and the quality of the footage, well, it looks really good. So you can see from this demonstration that even though the X3 has two lenses for a full 360-degree view, if you only need to use one lens, the front or the rear, it's totally up to you, you can, and you can get awesome action shots like this. And now I want to show you some of the great images you can get just by adding accessories. So here I have the motorcycle mount. This is one of the parts that come with it. It's an extension for your camera. I've attached it to my bike helmet. You can do this with a motorcycle helmet as well. I'm going to put the Insta360 X3 on top, and I'm going to face it so it faces forward at the angle of my head. I'm going to use both camera lenses for this demonstration and record at 5.7K, 30 frames per second. And what is going to happen is that mount that the camera is on is going to disappear. It's going to look like the camera is floating in the air as I ride my bike. So as I pedal my bike forward and I pan the camera down, I do this in post-editing, look at that. You can no longer see the mount and it looks like the camera's floating in the air, and I can make the camera rotate and look in any direction I wish. The entire reason you do something like this is so that if you're out filming, you don't miss anything. So if anything exciting was happening on either side of me, I don't have to turn my head to look at it. I can pick the direction that I want the camera to look at any point during my post-editing process. But the best thing is I have full control over the field of view. So what you're seeing on your screen right now is a linear field of view. This is how a GoPro records. Everything is linear. There's no curvature of the world, no fisheye, anything like that. That's how most people riding a bike would probably like it. Next item to show you to make your videos even more creative is the Insta360 invisible stick. You simply screw the X3 camera onto the invisible stick, then expand the invisible stick to any length you desire. Then move the stick around in any direction you desire. The stick will automatically disappear. It will look like your camera's floating in the air. You can also put the stick horizontal if you desire. And again, the camera will not show the stick. It will look like the camera's floating in the air, which can give you some cool effects. Now, if you want to go really crazy, there is the brand new extended edition selfie stick, which I think is the most amazing thing known to man. This foldable stick is so long you can use it to get drones out of trees. As you can imagine, you can be highly creative with this stick, as you're going to see in this video. Here I am placing it through my Jeep windows for some strange effect. Driving my Jeep and placing it out the driver's window can give you some pretty cool video effects. Since the stick is so long, I can place it out the driver's side window and hold it right in front of the Jeep, and you get this sort of image. It almost looks like there's a camera in front of the Jeep and I'm just following it. Now the X3 camera is waterproof up to 10 meters, that's 33 feet. So here it is, a windy day, and I'm going to take it out on the water. I'm not worried about getting it wet. I am going to dip it in the water, you'll see here. But my biggest problem is walking around all the birdie poop. The entire dock is covered in bird droppings, so no matter where I walk, it's like walking through a minefield. The image looks good though. Here's what it looks like to drop the camera down 4 feet into the water. Now all of the video segments you've seen so far were recorded in normal video mode. There is also an active HDR video mode. However, you can't use this if it's dull out, and as you saw in my recordings, it was pretty much dull, so I didn't bother using it in this review. Now let's get into taking photos. Once again, you have two lenses or one lens. If you select two lenses, then you can take a 72 megapixel photo, which is just incredible. And if you select only one lens, then you have half of that 72, which is a 36 megapixel photo. So here it is. It's a really dull day, but I do have a tripod stand for my camera, so I'm going to place it down and I'm going to shoot a 72 megapixel photo in 360-degree view. I've set the timer. Now I'm going to run back and have a seat on the chair, and here's the photo. There we go. Now remember, this is a 360-degree photo. That means I can move the camera after I've taken the photo in any direction and make the snapshot of whatever I see. I can also change the field of view into either more fisheye or less fisheye, or make it linear so that it's like a normal camera taking a snapshot. I can play with the contrast, the brightness. This is a DNG raw file, so you can put it in your photo editor and manipulate it any way you wish. One of the features I love about this camera is you can capture a 360-degree 8K time lapse, so just set this camera up some location, set up all your parameters, let it go, and be very surprised at what your results are. It actually creates a video of all the image it takes. As an example, I placed the camera in my backyard one early morning and I set it to 360 degrees, so you see I'm looking back at the video that I captured and I can move it in any direction. It's taken a series of snapshots, one shot every 4 seconds at 8K, so I can scroll through the video as I'm doing here and looking to see if I capture any little animals out in the morning. To entice any critters, I've sprinkled some bird seed, as you can see it there, and now we have a black squirrel coming up to have a morning breakfast. My camera also spotted a rabbit, but the rabbit didn't get super close. I spotted a bird up on my fence, and hopefully he'll come down and have some birdseed. Well, there we go. He's down having some birdseed. And Mr. Squirrel's going to join him for morning breakfast and conversation. The last critter that shows up for breakfast is a chickmunk. Please note that this video sequence was recorded over the span of 1 hour and 30 minutes. The next camera feature to show you is called Time Shift. This gives you the illusion of fast motion. The next feature to show you is called Bullet Time. It's very popular from the past. It's on this camera as well. If you have this Bullet Time accessory that is available from Insta360, I'll put a link below for it, then you can make your life very easy doing Bullet Time in any method you like. Here's a quick demonstration of Bullet Time. Just take the accessory, screw it into the bottom of your X3 camera, and swing the camera wildly. The X3 also has a loop recording function in case you want to use it as a dash cam or on a motorcycle or a bicycle to record your trips. Just in case you get into an accident, you can set it to record the last 30 minutes or the last 5 minutes, whatever you desire. There is also a star lapse feature to capture moving objects in the night sky. If you want to know how this was done, check out the YouTube channel I have shown below. If you want to take photos of fast moving objects, use the burst mode. It will take a series of photos very quickly. There's also an interval mode, so you can take 72 megapixel photos at intervals. Say you want to take a photo every 3 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever, you can set it as such. There's also an HDR photo mode. Now you're supposed to use HDR on bright sunny days so it can get the contrast and the brightness. However, it was a dull day and I thought I'd try it out anyways, so here's my results. Now I took 2 photos, both in 360 degree view so that I could point the camera at myself and at the tree at the exact same time so I could compare normal and HDR. So here's my results. This is me in normal, this is the tree in normal. This is me in HDR, this is the tree in HDR. One of the new features of the X3 is perfect for social media. It's called Me Mode, and what it does is you put the camera out front of you and it will always keep you locked in the frame. You can create an image in 16:9 or 9:16. In this demo I created everything in 9:16 so that it would be perfect for social media like TikTok or Facebook or anything like that. So let me quickly explain what you see happening on your screen. On the left hand side of your screen, that's me recording with a GoPro. I'm recording the X3 attached to the selfie stick and I'm walking along a path and the stick is bouncing all over the place, moving everywhere, but it doesn't matter because the me mode on the camera takes the entire image and just focuses on me. So the result is what you see on the right hand side of the screen. I didn't edit it like that or anything. It just comes out of the camera like that, which looks perfect for social media. Next, let me quickly show you what comes in the box. Here we go. This is the box your X3 camera comes in. Opening the box, you'll see your X3 and your accessories. The camera has a very high-end quality feel in the hands, and you can tell it's put together extremely well. Other items included in the box would be a USB-C cable. You do get a pouch to carry the camera around in to protect it. Plenty of documentation is included as well as instructions and a microfiber cloth to clean the lens. Here are a few optional items you may wish to get for your X3 camera. First up is the quick reader, which works with my Apple iPhone. Inside the quick reader, you place a micro SD card, then you take the quick reader, attach it to the X3 camera. When you record video, it will then be recorded on the micro SD card you put in the quick reader. Next, you pull the quick reader off and you stick it in your iPhone and it transfers the images really quickly. An essential item for your camera is a lens cap. It's just a rubber lens cap that you slide over the top of both lenses so that if you put the camera in your pocket or someplace down on a table, you're not going to damage either lens. The X3 has several microphones, so let's test them out.
There we go. Lots of wind happening now. Can you hear me in this camera? I don't know. Maybe I'm covering the mic with my fingers here. I don't really know. I don't know where the mics are on this thing. Oh, I think they're up top. Not really sure. There's like 4 mics on this, I believe. Anyways, so that's the audio test. Here we go. Out of the wind. Windows open over there and over here, and I'll stick it outside. We got the wind rushing.
And now a few more things you should know about the Insta360 X3. First off, sliding down from the top accesses your settings menu, going from the left to right, and you'll get all the album photos and videos. And if you slide from the right to the left, then you're going to get your camera settings for auto and manual settings. And finally, the camera can connect to your phone via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi using the Insta360 app. The app shows you all the videos and photos stored on your camera. You can then download them onto your phone. The app will also show you a live view of what your camera sees. The app also has many effects shown here that you can apply to any videos or photos that you've taken. If you take a 360-degree photo, you can then reframe it, and then you can edit it and share it. The same is true for any video taken. You can adjust the colors, other settings, reframe the shot, change the field of view, and then you can edit it further if you want or share it. Beginners using this app love snap editing. It's on the top. You just click on snap and then you get a little tutorial explaining what to do, and it's as simple as moving your phone around and then using the slider on the right to zoom in and out, and at the bottom that controls your recording. One final thing to say is do not mix up the X3, which is brand new on the market, with the previous model, the 1X2. This is the new one, this is the old one. Also, if you're trying to decide between the Insta360 1RS and the new Insta360 X3, this is a modular camera. It comes apart into many pieces and you can replace the camera and do all sorts of things with it. This is a pocket camera. It is pretty much fixed the way it is. You're stuck with the way it is, but it does an awful lot for what it is. Now, like most of my videos, you're probably wondering, is there anything negative? Did I notice anything negative using this for the last week? Well, the only thing negative I noticed was that the lenses, if you do not put this protector on right here, the little rubber one, they can get scuffed up or scratched up. So either put it in the pouch very carefully. Do not leave it or drop it on the ground. Do not scrape it on anything like I just did with my watch, because you will scuff up the lenses. You won't see the scuffs in your video, but if light shines on them, then you might notice it. It'll look like water droplets or rain droplets. So with all that said, I'm putting my little cover back on, and there are links below to everything I've shown in this video. I do have an awful lot of accessories for the Insta360, because if you watch my videos, you know that I use Insta360 cameras because I like the little tiny ones that go on all my RC planes and the drones and the helicopters and everything. And I use the larger ones when I'm out filming products, because I can just put the camera down like this. I go film the product, and if I walk around over here someplace else, I don't worry about it because the camera is a 360. So when I'm editing the video, I just grab the footage from this side or that side or up top or this way. So in a lot of my reviews, I'm using an Insta360 camera. So with all that said, I say thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in future videos with many more reviews of all sorts of products, especially drones. Until then, I say bye.